Well, good morning guys, happy Friday. We're on our way to our morning client. We're actually staying a little bit longer down here. We're staying about an hour longer down here because the client has actually gone away for the weekend. Excuse me. And we just need to get him packed and make sure he has his lunch and all that before he goes. But he's being collected from the house, so I just have to stay with him until he's collected, which is fine. I mean, as I said, he's easy company. And then on my way home, I think I'm going to go for a shop just to get it out of the way because my mum's up tomorrow. So when I go home today, I want to get her room ready. I want to get my room sort of finished off because we did the clothes, but now it's just untidy, the room itself. So yeah, that's sort of the plan of action for today. It's going to be a bit more I suppose time-lapsey and stuff, just we've so much to get done. But yeah, we should get it done, and I'm feeling really excited about Mum coming up tomorrow, which is nice. So I'm not sure yet what time she's up at. She's staying with Kerry tonight in Galway City. So sorry, there was a car horn that makes but yeah, so she's staying with Kerry tonight, so I presume she'll get a train about 11 tomorrow. There's no rush for her to come up. We like to be up early for a train. So yeah, so Mum be up, that's exciting. And then on Thursday I'm going back down to Galway with her for a couple of days. So we'll travel back down together by train next Thursday, which I actually have to say I'm quite looking forward to. I haven't been on a train with my mum in I don't know how long. Right, I will go once we're finished, or I'll talk to you later, and once I'm finished with this client and we are home and we have the shop done, I'll chat with you then. Alright guys, so change of plan. I was going to stop and do the food shop, but I decided I'd come home and get my lunch instead. And my neighbour who lives next door to me, she called in because a couple of nights ago we were putting out the bin and I was having my dinner in the kitchen and Hayley was in the front room doing work on the computer. She came in, she says to me, "Mum, I can hear someone calling your name outside." I said, "Don't be daft, to become." So I text my other neighbour and I was like, "Are you calling me?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay." And didn't think any more of it. Then Hayley came back into me and went, "Ma'am, I'm not losing the plot. Someone's calling your name. I can hear them, but it's sort of quite low. It's not loud like." So I said, "Okay." Then the dog came into the room and he was messing. And I said, "Look, Hayley, I can't hear what you're hearing. I'm actually going to go outside and look." And I went outside to see if I could hear whatever weird noise she was hearing. And my poor next door neighbour had fallen. And she said I could see her windows open and I knew if I called for long enough you'd hear me. And I said I was sitting out the back, like the back of the house, and she was to the front of the house. I said, eating my dinner. So anyway, she hadn't heard. So what had happened was she'd bent down, her legs had gone numb. She was actually disconnecting a battery used to charge her car, and she was disconnecting that and pushing it under the car. And her legs just went numb from bending down so much, and she just lost her balance and just couldn't get up. But she was laughing, she was in great form. But anyway, Hayley came out with me actually. As soon as I saw her, I called Hayley and the two of us went out and we shush Mr. T. We lifted her up and we got her into the house and she was fine. As I said, her legs were just, and then of course it was cold, so it didn't help. But she called in today to drop a little necklace into Hayley to thank her for helping her, and she was like, so sorry, hang on, his ball's gone under the table. So sorry about that. So when she called in, we must have been 2 hours in the kitchen having coffee and chats and catching up, and she was telling us all the latest news in the area. And yeah, she's just, I mean, the woman's in her 70s, so she was like a second mum to me. like if my mum was in work or my dad was in work and I needed forms signed, you know, harmless forms signed like for school outings and stuff, she'd sign them for me. She never went too far though, like obviously if it was trouble or anything, like my parents had to sign, but if it was just permission to do something, she'd make the judgment call on it. So yeah, so and then I was telling her mum was coming up, so she was delighted. So I'm going down, we're going to make dinner. I'm going to try this Friars Bentos, the pie in a tin. So we're going to try that, and myself and Carl are actually just going to have toasted cheese sandwiches for our tea. Hayley wants the pie because she's hungry. Me and Carl have been eating off and on, and we'll be at a load of crap anyway. So going to go do that, and in the meantime I did get my mum's, let me show you, I got my mum's bed made just after the lady went. I flew upstairs and made up her bed. It's her weighted blanket. I have to get her pillows down from upstairs, but yeah, it's real comfy, that bed. Spend all day in it. And I also brought in my winter duvet from the car. I went the other day and got it washed. One of the clients wanted to wash her duvet, so I thought it was a great opportunity to go wash my own. Oh, excuse me. So got that done. Have that on my bed. I didn't clean my room today, and I have no intentions of starting now, because by the time I make the dinners and everything, I'll be knackered. Right, I'll talk to you in a bit. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like before it goes into the oven. That's the pastry on top, and obviously the chicken gravy is underneath. So I'm excited to see how this works. I find it fascinating. So we're going to put that in the oven for a half an hour, and while that's doing in the oven, I'm also going to, in my round tin here, I'm also going to get a crustless egg bake going, so I can put that in when this is done cooking, and that'll be lunch for tomorrow. Okay guys, so this is it out of the oven. See, the pastries will be unrisen there. Now the question I have, are you meant to plate it or are you meant to eat it out of the tin? Hayley said plate it, and I thought maybe you should eat it in the tin. So I don't know how I'm going to get this out, but we'll try. And I've just, my sandwich, I'm having a toasted cheese sandwich is just on there. But yeah, we have to try and get this lad out of the tin. Alright guys, so I plated it. There's quite a lot of filling in there. So I've plated it up for Hayley. As you can see, it piping hot. But yeah, that's, the pastry is there. Well, I put some of the filling on top of the pastry. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what she thinks of it, because I know they do a load of other flavours. So depending on how this goes down, we will see. Maybe we'll try a different flavour. Never had a pie in a tin. Anyway, we'll wait for the taste test to come back. Alright, so this is what Carl's having for his tea. He's having a toasted cheese sandwich with some salt and vinegar crisps, and that'll be his tea for this evening. Alright guys, so we're going to make the cheese bake, it's not cheese bake, it's an egg bake with no pastry. So it is quite keto friendly. We're going to have cottage cheese, a half a tub of the cottage cheese, well, just over half a tub of cottage cheese, 4 eggs, onion granules, chopped garlic, ham bits, and I've also defrosted some peppers to put into it. And I am going to mix all this together, and then I am going to put it in the round tin, which is this, and I am going to put it in the air fryer for about 25 minutes. Mr. T has just given up on me. Be giving up, sir. He's not feeling great today, I don't think. He's just off his food. He's off his food a bit, so he's just, yeah, poor little man. Anyway, going to do this egg bake. Alright guys, so this is what the egg looks. That's 4 eggs, some ham, peppers, and the cottage cheese. And with that, I don't know what size this is. Doesn't say, I can't see. But I've literally sprayed some of the 1 called sunflower oil. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Just to line the bottom of it with it. And I'm going to pour this in, and we're going to put it in the air fryer for about 20 minutes. Okay guys, so this is it out of the air fryer after about 15 minutes. And I did leave it sitting there because I threw it up the loo. But it's like, I suppose for all intents and purposes, like a omelette just made in advance. So as I said, myself and Hayley will probably have that tomorrow for our lunch with a little bit of coleslaw on the side. And it'll be divine. But that is the omelette or the egg bake, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, all done and ready for tomorrow. One of the things, guys, I really hate is coming home from work hungry and then having to cook. So I like to cook in advance if I can. So yeah, so happy out that that's done. And tomorrow the burgers are defrosted, so we're going to have burgers for tomorrow's dinner as well. So yeah, all organised. But hope you enjoyed this little video. As I said, it was only something small, just to keep us going.